For successful implementation, key reforms are needed, such as independent government regulation. Um, in partial privatization, in that the government still remains in control, the government can formulate regulations to monitor the private sector's operation, to reduce consumers' exploitation. The government can also issue contract-based performance, in that the government should not just step down and wait even when these private sectors are exploiting consumers. So performance-based contract will ensure efficiency and ensure that the privatization aim is met. And also, um, cut, cut. The government should also implement transparent privatization process, in that all the stakeholders and citizens are involved. This will ensure accountability and transparency in as much as privatization is concerned.
So for privatization, the main aim of doing this is to be able to help reduce the burden on the citizens through helping in terms of service delivery, and then the growth of the economy through the different channels of income to the government, because the government won't be able to be using the funds in helping finance those SOEs, and also will be able to have much more infrastructure and those need-based issues sorted by the government, because we'll be able to have much more funds channeled into the government treasury.
Also, creation of more jobs. When privatization is realized, more private investors will be encouraged to inject capital, maybe in the same business. So we find that in the same business, there will be expansion. And when expansion is realized, more jobs are created.
Privatization must be well structured, transparent, and inclusive, so that at least Kenyans are able to know what to do, how, when, and why, so that we don't have this much opposition. People are not against the privatization issue, but the issue is transparency. Things are being done, but we are not aware of what is being done. And also we are seeing like Safaricom is being undervalued, but the government is not taking into consideration whatever people are proposing. So we have to include people in everything, so that we have a clear vision of whatever we want to have and have a better growth.
Also, critics may...
A critic is that government tends to lose full control. However, with government taking a substantial share and leaving the other shares to the private corporations, private enterprises, this ensures that the government still maintains strategic growth while ensuring efficiency in the enterprise.
Also, critics argue that there will be loss of jobs. In as much as privatization is performance-based, so just as I've said earlier, more jobs will be created, in that private investors will be encouraged to invest in a particular business. So in as much as there will be some jobs lost, more opportunities will be created as compared to when the privatization is not done. Also, critics argue that
and the privatization should be adopted by the government and the stakeholders to encourage or strengthen the usage of revenue and to enhance accountability on the Kenyan revenue.
And also, we'll be able to have the government focusing on policy formulation and also regulation, and to be able to manage how these SOEs operate. It's not that the government is losing, no, it's just giving those funders to be able to use those SOEs to grow, but we still have the regulatory frameworks in place.
one of the things that Kenya is looking forward to is to attain sustainable debt. So privatization is also a step forward for making this a reality, in that the government will not use taxpayers' money in bailing out inefficient state-owned enterprises, since they will be transferred to private hands. So the government can now focus on provision of essential goods and services and essential sectors of the economy like education and health, as well as infrastructure.
More funds to the government, less taxes to the Kenyans, and we'll be able to have many people alleviated from the poverty.
A call to forward action, the government should convert the bill, the privatization bill, into an act, and also the government should embrace more transparency by including all stakeholders as well as citizens to ensure that privatization is uh, manifested in a more transparent and in a more inclusive manner.
And we are hereby ready to explain our policies to the Committee of the Public Finance and Economy.
And we welcome you to give us your views so that we can be able to assess through, be able to take in those that are major, and they'll be able to help us in this position paper so that we'll be able to have everyone included in this, so that when we present this paper, we'll be able to have the best interest of everyone represented through this position paper.
Remember, for a best Kenya, you and I need to be included in every step. Thank you.